Cyclops, get down.
Hey everyone, it's Alex and Gio from Radd.
Yo, motherfuckers!
So we are here today and we are looking at the Graven Labs Cyclops. We're going to go over this, do the usual measure, weigh, tell you what we think, tell you what we like, tell you what we don't like, and we'll even open it up to the room. So keep watching, people.
Okay, like Alex was saying, welcome back. We will be going over the Graven Lab Cyclops.
Let's say that.
You did say that, didn't you?
I was saying
I
that.
know, I was listening.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is, let's talk. This is my piece. I got this in. I'm thoroughly on board with the Graven Labs sort of situation. I've got lots of pre-orders with them. I like the vision. I'm good friends with Marcus Chow. Just want to say thank you very much, brother, for you know, being. He's been my friend for a few years. Like, we've been chatting. I've bought and sold things. You know, we're good friends. And
several times.
And yeah, you have. Thanks for rubbing that in. And also to Jeremy Sang as well. Great people to deal with. Now let's talk about the piece itself first off. This is an edition size of 40 pieces only. Graven also do 5 artist proofs. So there is no more than 45 pieces in circulation. I kind of like that. It's a really low run for APs. I mean, companies do like well into double figures of that. So some even triple figures.
Some custom people do unnumbered APs.
Yeah, so it's a decent thing to be doing. If you haven't seen the unboxing, we did a live unboxing on YouTube because we wanted to really just have it like, you know, grit and raw, real, how we usually are.
It's nice to capture your first like reaction.
Thoughts and stuff, yeah.
You can't bottle that shit.
You can't bottle that shit, fair play, you can't. The character itself, you know, if you don't know who Cyclops is, he's the leader of the X-Men, Scott Summers. First appearance, X-Men #1, 1964. He is basically, he's a responsible leader. He's the he's not the wife of Jean Grey. He could be the wife of Jean Grey. He's the husband of Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor, and the father of Cable. His brother is Havoc, isn't it? It's Alex Summers. Alex Summers. I like the character. I've got 2 pieces of Cyclops actually, and I did actually own the premium format originally. So let's start this off. We'll go on to the base, but you do receive when it comes quickly. You receive the base. You receive this chest plate. You receive the legs, and the head actually is connected, which stumped us for a little while. 2 arms. Both sets of this hand is connected, so this hand doesn't come off. 2 separate visors, one with the beam and one with sort of nothing coming out of the front, and then this extra hand with holding the Magneto helmet, which is beautifully done. You also, Mikey, chuck us over the lights, my lad, please. Thank you, brother.
Well, no, you got the thing next to you.
Yes, but that's all right. So yeah, so you can pick these up from Amazon. This cost me around about sort of 9-10 quid. I bought the wrong batteries because I'm special like that. Basically, you get these with the remote. You can stick them in the bases and then use them for light up. So they do all different colours, all different bits and pieces, as we'll talk about here. Okay, so starting off, this is the second piece I've got from Graven Labs. The first one was the Beast, which is an exceptional piece. We'll start on the base here, and we'll get the. I think we'll get the negatives out of the way first. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going on to the base. I mean, the base is huge. The base is absolutely massive. I mean, he's on top of like a 14-inch Lazy Susan, and
it's gone. That's been eaten.
She's gone. You can't see her.
He's meant to be standing on the chest plate of a Sentinel.
So he's on the chest, and then it kind of goes into the kind of sternum area.
Yeah.
It kind of goes. You got like, what's this part here then?
Clavicle.
Okay. Well, then it kind of joins on there. Yeah. To get the negatives out of the way, the paint on the base it's heavy. It's
yeah.
You know, so the detail on the rock is lost. The detail on the parts between the purple plating, it is lost as well. It could easily be painted a lot better. I'd put money on that being thick paint rather than lack of sculpt.
Yeah, there's loads of details going on here. There's cracks, and I can see them through the paint. it has really been heavily applied by the factory, a lot more than Beast actually, in fairness, because Beast has like the hand that he's standing on and then the rocks on the bottom, and it has again metal parts and bits going through the sort of rocks, and it's a lot more identifiable. Here's my point of what I'm going to say, right? If you do a base that's this big, and this is a monster base, right? And I love the fact it's in scale. I love the fact that all the parts match. That's why I'm on board with this project, because all the parts match. And when you get a true 1/4 scale Sentinel, you're getting a true 1/4 scale Sentinel part. And when you place them next to each other, they'll all look fantastic in the line. They'll all be roughly in the same sort of height ratio, even though you have taller and smaller characters. It's done in a way, that's the design, the idea. Shot, yeah, it's made for that. But if it's going to be this big, it needs to be almost flawless. It needs to be executed high level. And the purple I actually really like. I've got no problem with the purple. I like the fact that it's got burn marks on it. I like those. But this sort of almost pipe work thing that's going across here, you almost can't see where the pipes separate because the paint has been applied so thickly. And then you go, you've got like highlighted pieces that stick out, like, brass, like pipes and some gold bits and some silver parts, but they are so muted by the fact that the surrounding areas are so heavy. It's almost like they've gone over them. The detail's been gone over in the sculpt. Because when you go round that, you can see, sort of this side here. This could all be really separate and really clean.
Well, even on the edge here, when you go up to the kind of neck area, you have those pipes, and then you kind of have the purple part here.
Yeah.
And the actual pipes are painted purple there, so the paint has actually gone onto here.
Yeah, definitely.
Stole that off you, Johnny.
Yeah, stole it off you. Well done, John. Good spot. Yeah, Alex is 100% right. There's sort of pipes here, and Alex and John, they're all right. I would have actually liked to have seen this whole purple edge sort of silvered, completely like cut off, sliced in half, all silvered around the edges. And this needs to be separated and repainted neat and tidy. There is a lot of detail going on here. This all looks fantastic, but the separation in the rocks and the highlights, I mean, this sculpt is a really decent sculpt. But the paint on the base has been so thickly applied that it's lost. If I took this and I got this repainted, I'm telling you, you'd be sitting here and you'd be like, fuck me, that base is one of the best bases I've ever seen. But because it's not painted as well, what you end up saying is, shit, that base is really big. It distracts from Cyclops. It takes away from Cyclops. Because it's not as much of a feature as it should be. This is fantastic, the plate that goes around the chest and the clear thing that's inside it. Yeah. Really heavy, really well made. And it actually has a male part that sticks up that the foot goes in. And then this is the Cyclops on the edge of his toe. Very similar to the XM Wolverine, the yellow suit. He has like the peg on the end of his sort of foot, and it just goes in a funny angle. It's sort of like with this, it just sits in. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, anyway. Yeah. So the peg basically is here on the end of his foot, and then the male part of this base sticks up, and then you stick the foot over the top of it. So it's very sturdy and very well put together. Yeah. Love the...
your chest plate is like super solid, super heavy. And also, which I'm quite surprised, is you can actually use the remote through the actual chest, so you have to turn it on and off there.
Yeah.
We'll go with the light later, shall we? Or should we?
Yeah, it's fun, I don't mind.
Then you kind of move into the actual... the figure. The figure is done really, really well.
Yeah, this is where it takes off a bit more.
The boots, where you got like the kind of leather boots, they're kind of worn. They got like you would have on leather when it kind of gets dirty. It gets dirty into little parts, and you got the creases and stuff like that on there. Stitching, it's done really well. The boots are dark. You go up into the suit, which then has like a mesh on the back. It has like a thick seam of the, almost like a leather's been stitched into it, and then that goes into like a more textured kind of like a smoother textured part of the front.
Yeah, almost like armor, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's almost like the stitching around it. So the back of it is like textured, like we say like a wetsuit or like some type of material, and then the top is almost like paneling, almost like armored, so like either thick rubber or thick Kevlar or something over the top. Here and on the top of the thighs. I really love the fact that the straps have the little edges on the sculpt, and they've got nice, like, buckles, like grotty silver buckles. They're done really well. And Alex is spot on. You can see the calf muscles through the actual trousers, which is really, really nice. And I think the grottiness on the yellow, like the usage is fantastic on the boots and on the straps and everything else, and the pants
and
the pants.
So like he's been seen in some dirty seats. So you got like all the weather on.
He's been on his arse a couple of times. Sentinel's put him on his arse a couple of times. There's no doubt about that.
One of the complaints on the body then will be, I think the pouches. Maybe they should continue the kind of wear, but it might be
cleaner, didn't they?
They look a lot cleaner, but it might be that they're like a different material, so they're not the leather, so that then it's not going to pick up the dirt. I
still think that the paint is a little heavy on them pouches. Again, I can see some fantastic sculpting details. I can see stitching, I can see panels, I can see flaps, I can see buttons. I can see them. I know they're there, but I think the paint has been thickly applied to the pouches in particular, and I think that again is the reason why it looks a little bit like they're too fresh. Really needs to be stripped back a bit, dirtied up a bit, and then you really want to see the details that the sculptor has actually put in there into the piece, you know?
Sure. Because then also, I mean, you've got so many pieces to compare it to, because especially with this pouch here, on his
third in
left, the third one, you've got so many areas to compare that's been worn, like the arse, the belt, and then the strap that comes up here. You have that one there, just maybe a little bit more wear. You know?
I really love the X on the belt, classic. I really love, and one of my favourite parts actually as well is I really love this stitching that separates the frame. I think Johnny was on the unboxing was saying that he thought it felt a little bit blocky around the abdomen. I personally really love that part of it because I find that it sort of decompartmentalize. You know when you say decompartmentalize, what do you say? You know what I'm saying?
Sections.
No, it's like decompart. It's like where you separate. It's like where you break something up. And I find that when you look at the lines and the stitching's done that way, I feel that it basically says, here are my obliques, here are my abdomen, here's my back, here's my lats. You sort of like, you can focus and see the different sections a little bit clearer. Nothing sort of molds into each other,
I think
which
with
I like.
The style that Johnny's saying is like where he's saying that the chest style would then continue down into the abdomen. I can see that, but I think that's more if you would have a female character that would look kind of
sleek,
accentuate
her abdomen. V, a taper.
On a man,
stop being so lustful, Johnny.
I'm actually going to agree with Johnny a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually think that maybe it should probably carry on from the chest and then go kind of like that, and then it's got the texturing on the obliques. I think that. So it kind of goes like that.
I disagree. I like it as it is. I think you were right the first time that to put it around your chest is.
Why do I second question?
I don't know. I think you're right because I think once you do that, once you stitch around your chest saying like, oh hello, is a bit. You know what I mean? For Cyclops, it's just a bit much. I think the chest, the whole shoulders back, and sort of like the big aggressive, this block part here just looks amazing across the chest. George Santos did an absolutely amazing job on the body sculpt. I think he is so powerful. He just feels really physically powerful. Definitely the best sculpted Cyclops I've seen. Easy. This is like this whole thing. The pose, the balance of it is just beautifully done.
The first thing that they because it was you and Mike. The first thing that they took out of the box was the hands, and when I saw that, it's kind of got like a grip on the bottom of the hand, and they look used. They look like he's been working in them, and I do really like that. I think it's really well done. He's jacked. I mean, it's Jim Lee style, so he's juicing. He ain't going to get into UFC. USADA
he's pissing hot.
USADA are knocking on his
pissing
door at 4
hot,
a.m. and he ain't getting into that ring octagon.
I really like the straps and I love the chest X. I really love that. And I think that the engineering in regards to the body, how everything fits and the arms fit in are fantastic because the actual stitching breaks up where the arms separate. And that's really needed. I mean, the sculpt in there for the triceps is just fantastic, and bicep. The balance of his body is really, really, really nice.
There have been a few complaints about the fitting of the arms and about how the way that they fit. There is like a gap that's not an issue here. I mean, I think online there's been someone who said that it was a big deal because of the way this kind of it looks like leather in these the brake setup because of the way that material kind of goes up. That material wouldn't, as he's doing that, it would be like that anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So
you can see it for yourself. Look, you can see
it.
You can see it yourself. I mean, so big. You don't even know where that lace Susan is under there. But you can see there, like where the arm elevates up here and the arm elevates there. You can see it. It's seamless. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And I had the premium format where that is a fucking disgusting scene. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same. Bent arm, that position, and that is one of the most disgusting seams on a statue. It's a horrible seam, and the coat hides it. That's its purpose.
That's why they can get away with it, because the coat does hide it.
And the coat's really nice.
There is a coat that with this piece, Gio hasn't got it, or he hasn't got it out of the box.
No, to be honest with you, I like the look of the coat. I don't know if maybe I can't find it at the moment, so I'll have to have a chat to Marcus about that. But it's a nice add-on to have, but I really don't want to be going through the thing of taking it on and taking it off. The thing is, at the moment, the sculpt is so good on the Cyclops that the coat actually detracts from the piece quite significant. I think that the best part about this piece is the Cyclops sculpt. It is by far the best part. That's
almost like the Sideshow Gambit.
Yeah.
His coat hides a lot of the sculpt, and his body sculpt is amazing. But then again, that coat is done really, really well.
Really well. It's just catch-22. You can't lose either way, on or off. Going on to basically the portrait, when you start getting up towards the top, the face is done perfectly well. The teeth look great. What you basically have as well. And in some pictures, the hair actually looks, like I said on the unboxing, looks darker. But it actually is perfect, and there's a lot of detailing on that hair sculpt. The hair is like literally, it looks almost like from photos like it's a comb over, but when you look at it, it does. It looks like it's a comb back, like a gel slick back.
Oh,
but when you look at like that way, when you go backwards, like Bugsy Malone, like Bugsy Malone, right?
That's not a comb over.
Where is it? Comb
over is when you're bald and you like.
No, what's the one where it goes like what you've got on your fucking head now, where your hair's going slick back hair, right? But when you actually see it in person, it actually isn't. There's loads of individual strands. It almost looks like the hair's blowing back with the power of the beam from the force. The teeth are done fantastically well. The inside of the mouth is good. I heard a lot of people say how the details inside the mouth are phenomenal. I disagree. I've seen a lot better insides of mouths, to be brutally honest, on statues. You talk about XM Electro's one of the best ones. The Screaming Head there's some great details in there. I would have put a little bit of gloss in the tongue.
A little bit of gloss, maybe.
I would have broken it up a little bit. The teeth look good, and I can see a hint of the gums.
No, I mean, there's gloss on the
I saw some photos and the gums look really bright and vibrant, but mine are not like that, so he must have used a flash or something on that picture. The face, the skin tones are great. The expression is fantastic.
So I didn't actually realise, I'm seeing it now, is where the straps come over the shoulder, there's actually gaps. And like meant to be there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can see through them.
So like where the shoulder comes over, it's not,
that's a good point.
Normally what a company would do, because it's much easier, is it will just be fitted to the actual, like that part there.
Yeah.
But it's actually where he's kind of moving, as it would in real life, the actual piece would have
sit off the chest and traps,
so
that gap.
There, and I actually quite like that.
It's fantastic. Good spot there, really good spotter. The gloves are done really well. The straps are done really well. The visor across the eyes is a little bit less worn than the others. I spoke to Marcus about this when I saw some pictures, and he said to me that the factory worn it, and he wasn't happy. So he said over-weathered it, and basically he said that he wanted it a little bit more thing. So it's a little bit of a different contrast in colour. And I think that sideways, head on, I don't think it's so bad, but like that way, you can sort of see a lot more of the separation. But then I think you're going to, because that part actually does come off. So I think that you're never really going to hide that sort of gap and separation there. Okay, so then you have the beam, which I think is fantastic. Yeah, go with the other arm, put on if you wish.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Go on then.
The Magneto helmet is done really, really well.
Strong.
The paint is very, very clean. The
fantastic that is, actually.
Yeah, it's really clean. All the reds, like almost like a car paint red, done really, really well. The purple bit around the outside's done really well, and the way he's holding it, it looks a little big when you kind of look at it away from the statue. You're like, Jesus Christ, is that Onslaught's helmet or what is this? I mean, but when you put it on, it doesn't look oversized. I don't think. Or am I talking rubbish, Mike?
No, you had it the right way. What are you doing?
No, am I talking... Wait.
You had it the right way. That's the right way.
No, I mean, am I talking rubbish by saying...
I really don't like you touching my stuff. Don't touch my stuff, that's it. Thank you.
Do you think when it's on, it looks right, or it still looks a bit big?
It does look big when you sort of put it up against Scott's head. It does look right.
It's the right size.
Yeah.
When I was holding it, I was like...
The thing is that on the XM one, on the XM one, that ain't going on no one's head.
No.
If you've ever seen it and you put it next to it, it's so small compared.
The Sideshow one is actually really nice. The one on the back of Cyclops.
It's not as nice as that.
No, but it's actually it's a nice part of the statue.
It's not. It's nice. It ain't nowhere near painted as well as that.
Not.
It's in fact it's not that nice at all because it's got all the rocks in the inside of it. It's a bit fucked. It's not great. So then you got that, and I like the little ad of the Magneto. It's got. I always thought it looked better with the clenched fist. I thought it had better balance, but I actually really like it with the. It sort of breaks up the colours nicely as well. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I really love the clear resin beam. I think that's fucking fantastic. I really do. I mean, the Cyclops itself, I could not be happier with. I don't think there's much I would change, if anything. To be honest, I'm really, really pleased with it, and I love the sculpt on it.
It's just all like little things. You can, when we look over these things, we have to pull out
everything.
Everything. The things that are going to get mentioned.
See, the pouches, there's not enough for me to go, I get that redone. The base, though, is like I'm saying, is probably something that I would actually be like, yeah, I'm going to repaint that. I get that redone. But that's my personal preferences.
Energy blast, huh? Here's one from a pro.
So we plug him in.
Yeah.
There you go.
And there's the beam. How does it look on camera? Can you see the light up?
Mike.
Yeah, all good.
Mike?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Right, so then you have that, and then obviously you can do with the base, where you turn the base on, so you can pick the colour. So let's go with blue. I quite like the blue, so we'll use blue. And then we'll put on, we'll pick fade.
No, strobe.
Is it fade?
No, it's strobe.
Is it really?
Had a go at me because I've done fade.
Is that what it is? Yes, get off. Don't touch my shit.
Go white, fade.
Why that?
Because then it goes to the prism effect. No.
Yeah, that's fade.
White
that's. Yeah, all right, okay. White
strobe.
Strobe.
Yeah.
Discoteco.
Yeah.
Strobe. There you are.
Yeah.
But can't I change that to blue?
No, but then that shows the
the prism.
Yeah.
The prism effect.
Obviously you can choose whatever colour you want, but with the white one, it picks up the kind of prism of the colours, so you kind of see
in the crack,
like kind of green. You see like a bit of purple. You see that there, but again, I mean, yeah, you can do whatever colour you want. So personally, I like either the red because he looks like he's game over time for him. Fuck off, fade. I know that strobe. So I quite like the red.
Yeah.
And also I'd like George likes that one.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Did it again, didn't you?
Yeah,
there you go.
You need to cut that flash button off. Yeah, I like that. But also there is like a purple as well.
That's cool.
So that one's probably my second favourite.
That's cool.
Yeah, you got loads of options.
You got loads of options, yeah. But the main colours to do the strobe thing or the fade thing, yeah. But that they don't all do the phasing in and phasing out thing. Only the main colours do that.
Fucking the Brighton. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's right.
These are quite cool then.
Yeah, they're very cool. Very good lights.
16.
You have to buy them separately if they come with it.
They don't come with it. You can buy it, but they're so cheap. You're talking a couple of quid. It's not exactly like it's anything you would write home about doing, and it's quite decent because, I didn't know that this was going to have sort of a white, sort of a mains light up. Really, I wasn't really aware, so I don't really like mains. But I'm glad that everything feels solid.
There was someone doing a concept where what was meant to happen is the light from the base was meant to capture.
Yeah, that was this.
Yeah.
That was the idea. It was meant to be that it would come up and catch that beam and it would light them both at the same time, but obviously that wasn't the case.
But then again, if that's the case now that he's got the power cable for that, why wouldn't you just stick a light in there?
Well, I don't know, maybe you can. If you could if you wanted to.
No, but I'm saying
I think that this thing with the plate is going to be on every single one of Lab's pieces. That a part comes off, you put one of these things in and have it,
well,
and then you can link them. So you'd have him and Beast and Gambit and Wolverine, and you'd have Iceman, and you just go bang, and all of their bases would all light up all together. That's the idea. Whether or not, we'll see. But I mean, that is the plan, that all of them will have it. So I hope that continues. So you've got basically that going on there. I mean, I really like the beam and stuff, but I'm glad that it's not necessary. It's not like I don't need this. I can take this off. It'll capture enough of the light anyway. It's not necessary.
Yeah, put the other one in and actually I want to see inside it. No, you gotta go my way. Sorry.
Just don't. There you are.
Can you go my way?
Yeah, that looks like a proper Cyclops. These are really sharp and well done. You can see right through them, no problems.
Damn. Jesus, don't look into that. Optic blast. How bright that is.
Reminds me from that film, They Live.
They live.
Yeah.
Obey.
The only thing I will say as well with the light up is there is a little bit of an escape going on around this sort of nose. And about underneath the nose, just around the top of the lip. There's a bit of an escape coming through the skin. It doesn't look, when the lights, it doesn't look terrible, but it's there.
The nose, especially like the...
It's just slightly around the nose.
It almost looks like it's in Total Recall and he's pulling the tracker out of his nose.
Yeah. You can manoeuvre that a little bit. But you definitely can see a little bit like coming through the sort of skin, which isn't bad because under the visor you could probably you could get away with that.
If you're looking at this close,
Yeah.
it looks bad. But then when you're looking at it when it's going to be on display,
Well,
just
they're
looks
looking
like,
at it
it
now.
looks like, it looks like the glow of the
Beam.
beam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you probably look better with that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks better with this. But to be honest with you, my plan is to put this on and to not have any light at all. Just have the light in the chest. Because this, under any type of light, you can see what happens. Just glows up anyway. So I don't need it. It will, when light hits that, it's going to electrify it regardless. So I don't need the light behind it. Yeah, illuminate, electrify, whatever. I mean, you got to use different words. You've got to try different words. Okay.
No, I was quite surprised. I thought we were going to bust out the old...
Illuminate?
Deluminate.
Illuminate.
Yeah.
I try these games with Jenny and it never works.
Yeah. Colson's getting better.
She said something like she said something about, look at this, like someone has toe jam on TV, and I was like, is Earl there? And she didn't have a fucking clue what I was saying. So I said, what is Earl? I phoned Alex up. I said, Alex, if I say toe jam, what are you saying? He went, Earl. It's like, yeah, you know toe jam and Earl, innit, from the game. You fucking.
It's an old Mega Drive game.
You know it.
Yeah.
You're in the crew. You can fuck off. You can get it.
One was a fat one, and one was like a skinny guy with a...
Yeah, toe jam and Earl.
It's like me and George.
Yeah, as Sir Bubbles, the gay guy, he says. That gay guy online. Sir Bubbles, he says that. Yeah, that's him, yeah.
I think
He fancies Alex and hates me.
I don't mind, I like fans. But then you made me block him, I think.
Oh, yeah, he's gone, bye-bye.
with the base, they could have had like, because it's like an optic blast.
You giving me critiques now, bitch? What is it you want? Go on.
Mike, come
That's
sit
it, come
here.
here, come sit down.
Come sit here and tell
Come
us.
sit with me, come
Come
on.
on, Mike.
Go on,
Oh.
yes! Go on, mate, go on. Bravery, come on. Come sit down.
Is he coming? Oh, fucking
First
hell.
time ever, look, and he's in a fucking scout shirt. He's in a scout shirt.
In the space. Yes, was it called Bubbles?
Who? Yeah, he was, yeah. The chimp, yeah. No, that's Michael Jackson's chimpanzee. It's Bubbles. He never went into
You
space.
need to talk into like George's thing there.
Talk us up. I'm just saying on the base, because it's so big and because it's Cyclops, I thought an optic blast would look better, going across there. If he's
Like across the whole thing.
yeah, and it sort of spraying out to look like he's actually just
Zoomed across it.
yeah. And I think that would have added something better to the base.
Yeah, you got a
So you
point.
could have it going right across,
Yeah.
and that could have looked cracked. It's just something you could have had because it's so big.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like that's how he's died, basically. You know,
As
kind of
as
like that.
as somebody who actually has a pre-order with Graven Labs now,
Yeah.
and you've seen the Beast, and now you've seen this piece in person. What do you think about the work that's coming out of there?
I like, as I was talking about it, I love the figure, and the same with the Beast. I just think the bases are just too big.
On both.
Not with Beast, because I think it probably suits the character, like because of the size and he's sort
Yeah, he's jumping off it. You mean
yeah,
it's a bit more
But
dynamic,
something like this, it takes a little bit away from it.
right?
I think.
So you agree then? You'd probably like shave a touch of depth off it, shave a touch of width off it.
Yeah, I'd have probably taken something off that side so you could see more inside the base.
The workings,
or the
yeah.
Sentinel,
Yeah.
whatever. Not so much of the stone. I think by cutting that through there, probably gives a bit more to.
Like you could say, you got a cross section of the actual inner workings
Yeah.
of the thing. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
But generally, everything else, I think, as I say, the actual figure itself looks good. So
What's the best Cyclops on the market?
I'd still go for this.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I like to do when it's not me because it's mine. Yeah. People are going to think there's something wrong with me. That's all right.
I mean, I'm going with the XM. I
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm probably going to go for. But yeah, at the moment, currently, this is probably the best one, I'd say.
Okay. You may as well stay with me and
Yeah.
we'll measure it. Right, so let's have a look.
Do you want to
Then.
lift out for the?
Yeah, do you want to lift it for weighing?
I'm a bit like Chunk. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to drop it.
That's all right, Mike. You got
Oh, no,
you
no,
got a grand on you.
I
Yeah,
know,
in your
George.
pocket.
I know we've done that, haven't we?
Huh?
Have we done? We did the light.
I think
We did the light, man. You did. Oh, we didn't do the. No, you didn't do the visor. No, we did. Yeah, we did both. Yeah, we did. See, you coming in here, getting in the fucking way.
It's got to be more exciting.
Right. So look, I'm looking at this. You know, how tall do you think this is? Go on,
It's
give.
not very tall. I think it's about 18. No, about 20 and a half.
It is 20. So it's 50, 51 tall. This is where the party starts getting interesting, is through here. Because I would say that is the widest point, man. That is like 19 inches. So that's like 49 centimeters of width. And then you start getting into depth, Mike. Take that as far back as you think you can get it. What do you reckon? I mean, that's...
How going 20?
how deep's that?
20.
I'd say that's 20 inches.
Which is,
So it's around 51, 52.
so that would just about fit in the Struber.
No. Internal measurements for a Struber is probably like 40 or something, isn't it? External it's 50 deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, which means... The thing I always say is
What
this
was
is...
it? What was it? Sorry, what was the?
Width is 19. Depth is around 20. Height is around 20. It's a block of 20. And the only thing is with that, right, that you have to always bear in mind is your display angle. If it is 20 wide and it is 20 deep, you can't fucking turn it. It's that simple. Because you there's no way it can go, you understand? So you can sort of go a bit like that, which I'm hoping will work for me. But you're still talking about 19 here and 20 there. It's very difficult. Very hard. This will be difficult to display. So you will need, like what Marcus says, you will literally need a shelf. Like a big shelf. And then literally put them on top of it. And you don't need to worry about depth or width or anything like that, because that's what you've got. If you're talking about containing something like this, it's difficult.
Need one of those module cases.
Yeah.
Do you want to lift him?
Need to get that quote through the post.
Yeah, send it to him.
Are you leaving us now, Mike? I quite enjoyed you being
I know,
there.
he was going to pick it up.
Oh,
All right, I'm holding it.
I just want to say on camera just how proud I am of Mr. Mike Wells there. You know, he's come on leaps and bounds, he has.
Yeah, if you look back on the XM Studios...
Didn't look remotely like a hostage.
XM Studios Mark 7 review, look at Mike running away and like hiding in the background. And then again, if you look on a phone, I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, God
What
damn
was
it.
the other one, Mike? Gambit, custom Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike? This is 13 kilos and 10 pounds.
It's heavy.
So we didn't predict, did we?
No.
Which is just shy of 29 pounds. So what did I say? I said 13.1 kilos,
Yeah.
28.9 pounds.
Yeah, so it's just shy of £30. For 2020, it's pretty weighty. Considering that also there's, light up sort of details inside it. Overall, I'm pleased. I'm very happy with it. In terms of, I'm happy with my investment in the piece. I think there's a couple of things to sharpen up on the next release. I definitely think that base needs to not be overlooked because they're so big. The details need to be just as strong as the figure. The figures are fucking amazing. Beast was amazing. Cyclops is amazing. The base on Beast was just a slightly better detailed, better paint. I think that overall...
The purple on Beast and then the was a bit better. It was a bit more kind of like a chromy kind of look.
but it's not
and
meant
then it
to...
also had more detailing where Beast has been scratching at it.
Yeah, but it's the idea, the concept is that Beast is scratches and he is beams.
Yeah.
So the damage isn't going to be the same.
But what's he? Yeah, but he's only burnt one bit there.
No, it's burnt all around it. There's all little bits everywhere. But I agree with Mike that a whole beam, like going right the way across it, was the way to do it. And to be honest with you, it still isn't that. I really feel that it's this section down that lets this down. Other than that, this part up, it's fucking top drawer. It's just that bottom part really could do with some cleaning. But I'm happy. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know what you think really in terms of Cyclops. You know, where would your investment go? Where would you go? We're going to see. After measuring it, I'm not confident. I'm just not confident about the situation at the moment.
I might have some space for it.
I bet you do.
Considering Mike just dropped off 3 statues, I don't think so.
But, you know, let us know what your investment would be, where you'd go with for your Cyclops. Are you hoping that Sideshow's going to release another one? You know, we'll be seeing a lot of X-Men coming all through the ranks at the moment. So, you know, thank you very much for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe and share. And if you like what you see, make sure you click that little bell button and become part of our notification squad. It sounds a lot cooler than it is, really.
Yeah. I actually got this thing that tells me, like, who comments and who's actually subscribed. And a lot of you fuckers aren't subscribed.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah.
Fired. You're fucking fired. Okay, thanks for joining us. Much love. Peace.
Peace.
I cannot be defeated. We beg to differ. Call up the black.